So good evening, everybody. My name is Katharine Wooler. I am Managing Director for Dacxi in the UK and Ireland. This evening is our Crypto for Beginners session, which is intended for people that have a pretty limited starting viewpoint for crypto. So over the next sort of 15 or 20 minutes, hopefully I'll give you some good basics on how crypto works. So quick disclaimer, the information I'll be covering this evening does not constitute investment advice, financial advice, or trading advice. Rather, it's information, inspiration, and education about crypto and about Dacxi as a business. So if you're new to Dacxi, we are one of the crypto exchanges. So one of the ways that you can purchase and store about crypto. And we're also very education focused. We put out a huge amount of content, whether it's webinars or ebooks or blue papers, loads and loads of resources for free for people that are trying to learn about crypto. For nearly everyone that uses our platform, it would typically be the first time they've got involved in crypto. So over this session, oh, excuse me, wrong way. So over this session, we'll talk about the basics of crypto, what it is, how it works, how you can make money out of it, what's going on right now. And obviously there's some really exciting times in the world. What to avoid, obviously, as in all industries, crypto has had some bad products, some bad exchanges. So how to keep yourself safe, where we're at in the investment cycle, so what's going on right now, and of course, how you can get involved. So these are some of the publications that I've personally written for this year so far. So I spend a lot of time talking about what's happening in the crypto industry, what's going on, what's happening with prices, what's happening with adoption. I write a lot about women's wealth specifically, and these are just some of the people that I've written articles for this year. So hopefully I'm well placed to talk to you about what's going in crypto right now. If you look on our website, you'll see a lot of those articles on our website, which is dacxi.com, D-A-C-X-I, where we'll talk a lot more about what's happening in the industry and what I think is happening with prices both now and in the short and medium term. So I want to talk a little bit about what's happening in the UK right now. It's certainly not my intention to depress anybody on a raining Tuesday evening. So look, obviously some very strange times right now, and the FTSE 100 is probably quite a good overview of what's going on in our economy, as of course it's the top 100 traded companies in the UK and often seen as a health check for what's going on in our economy. So these are, there aren't too many graphs in this presentation. This is prices for the year to date. So obviously across all major economies, coronavirus has been a huge problem. As you can see, it sort of hit us in the UK in late March. And year to date, the FTSE 100 is actually down 26%. So obviously a really bad reflection of what's going on in our economy broadly. And of course, as in broadcasting, we're due to go into a second lockdown in the next couple of days. And it's estimated that around $9 trillion have been wiped off stocks globally. And obviously the real extent of that damage and the real extent of that bill will only really be seen in the months and years to come. But particularly, of course, for the FTSE 100, many of our savings products, investments, etc., are based on that. So some really, really frightening times. The other thing, of course, is that our interest rates are at historic lows. You may see the Bank of England base rate being talked about in the newspapers. So I've been saying for quite a few months now in the press that I think we'll see negative interest rates in the UK in the near future, in my opinion, probably before Christmas. My favourite bit of press writing I did this year was I was asked to write about negative interest rates. So I went away and dutifully typed up my 800 words on what I thought was happening. And that article was rejected for being too depressing. So I have been writing about negative interest rates for a while now, but I think it's really challenging times. So we've actually got the lowest base rate ever. So the Bank of England has existed for a couple of 100 years. So that obviously filters down to savings accounts. So I did some research earlier today. So what's the date today? We are the 2nd of November. So I was looking at a website called money.co.uk, which compares lots of different financial products. And essentially the best rate I could get on a easy access savings account was around 1%. So some really, really low rates for people that rely on interest for income. The other thing, of course, is that the property market has had some real challenges in recent years. There's lots of people that invest in property. We actually put a lot of content out for property investors. If you get hold of us, we could share some of that content with you. So of course, in the UK, we've been very lucky that over an extended period of time, property prices tended to just go up. And over quite an extended period of time, it was typical that property prices would often double every 7 years. People were often very reliant on the equity in the home that they lived in. And of course, lots of people bought buy-to-let property, and lots of people still, of course, continue to do so for long-term growth reasons. But of course, as you can see, we had a substantial recession, the general financial recession in 2008. And since then, some of that growth has stagnated. Of course, compounded that buy-to-let deposits are huge. I'm based in the southeast of the UK, just west of London. And for me to participate in buy-to-let would probably be £50,000 or £60,000. Of course, it's cheaper if you go a little bit further north. So for most of our customers, they've either already got property, so they're diversifying, or often they just don't have access to that level of cash to purchase buy-to-let. So a lot of our platform users are really just putting a couple of £1,000s into crypto just to diversify. But I think also buy-to-let specifically is up for some real pain. Really large deposits, rental yields dropping. You can't evict tenants that don't pay. Very interesting times for buy-to-let investors like me. So we have a little bit of a joke at Dacxi that there's only really one reason that people diversify into crypto, and that is growth, growth, and growth. So I just wanted to do some comparison on what's happened this year to date. Just a couple of assets I wanted to compare. So these figures are correct as of about 3 o'clock this afternoon when I was putting them together. So Ethereum is up 200% this year to date. Bitcoin's up 81%. DAC, which is our community coin, is up 58%. Litecoin's up 33%. Gold is up 26%. And by comparison, our FTSE 100 is down 26%. So for that reason, lots of people that historically would not have considered crypto are starting to do so just for reasons of diversification. I spent Friday writing an article that we published shortly, where I said that the American stock market has performed so badly this year that it would take you 400 years to achieve in the American stock market what you could have achieved so far this year with Ethereum. So we certainly don't give financial advice. We're not an advisory business, but for that reason, lots of people are considering diversification and are switching some of their cash to crypto. So there's a lot of sense in the press from myself and other commentators that both institutional investors that we'll talk about on this presentation and just normal people are diversifying into crypto, which is increasingly, particularly with blue chip crypto, which again, we'll discuss the difference between all different coins. They're diversifying into what they perceive to be safe haven assets, blue chip crypto, and precious metals. So I just want to give you a very quick condensed version of what crypto is. So blockchain is the underlying technology for cryptocurrencies, which is very simply a new type of database. Traditionally, a database was held in one place and people would ping it for information. Now with blockchain, which is sometimes called distributed ledger technology, that information is held across the users. And that technology underpins crypto. And as you can see from this graphic, which is the Forbes Blockchain 50, blockchain has now been around for an extended period of time. It's a proven technology. It's used across a huge number of industries. For me personally, Dacxi is my third blockchain business. I've done some work with board advisory for a number of other businesses. And you'll see blockchain across agriculture, health tech, logistics, supply chain, a huge variety of businesses that are embracing that technology. There's been quite a lot of stuff in the press recently. Of course, we're just about to come up to an American election, which is very soon to happen. And again, blockchain's been used for some of the election tracking, which is interesting stuff. So just want to look at some of the businesses that are now using crypto and are involved. So one of the things that's really cool about my job is that I get to meet people that invested in Bitcoin, sort of 3-4 years ago, and obviously did very well from some of that huge early growth where you saw 1,000% increases. And I often ask them, what was it that made you get involved? And of course, coming on board so early with a technology and an asset that no one had heard of, no one really understood, and of course had no track record. But if you look at some of the people that are involved today, as I'll talk about over the next couple of slides, it really does paint a really interesting picture about adoption. And of course, it's a technology that is really coming to triumph. So I think it's a very fair question, is crypto real? And is it here to stay? And I think if you look at who's involved, that answer is very much yes. So some of those really massive payment businesses, MasterCard is working on crypto wallet projects and has 80 patents in blockchain technology. Visa holds 24 patents in blockchain technology, and you can today pay in crypto with their relationship with Coinbase, which is one of the crypto exchanges. They announced over the summer they were working closely to bridge that gap between the crypto platforms, companies like ours, and crypto businesses. So bearing in mind that Visa has got 61 million merchants and is used by 1 billion people, them working closely with crypto is really key. And actually they work with global policymakers to make recommendations, including with the World Economic Forum, around central bank digital currencies, which is the major countries looking at making their currency purely digital. PayPal has done the crypto industry a huge favor this summer. Only a couple of weeks ago, they confirmed the rumors finally that they will offer crypto to their user base. So they actually interestingly will be offering the cryptos that we're focused on, which is Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. They have 320 plus million users. eBay has confirmed they're looking to include it. Amazon's collaborating with blockchain development businesses. And you can today spend crypto at Amazon, Starbucks, and Uber. So as you can imagine, tens of millions of pounds being spent updating their platforms. And one of the examples I use is I'm old enough to remember when you would take your credit card into a shop and they would take an imprint on it with that machine that made a really lovely crunchy noise. That was soon replaced. We'd had chip and pin for ages. Now we've got touchless payments. It's really just waves of adoption that are coming in. And to give you an idea of just how prevalent that is, I mentioned that these major economies are looking to digitize their currencies. And the World Economic Forum reports that about 80% of central banks are looking to digitize, and that actually includes the Bank of England. So companies like ours get really excited. We put loads of content on social media talking about that happening. The EU has also said that by 2024, they'll have new rules which will aim to make payments across the various countries easier by leveraging blockchain and crypto assets. So look, it's not just happening with sort of payment companies, it's happening at a country to country level, which is, I think, really interesting. Oh, excuse me. So because of that, lots of big companies are interested. Crypto is very simply a cheaper, faster, quicker way to move money. So for example, Bitfinex moved $1.1 billion worth of Bitcoin earlier this year, and that cost less than $1. So many of these really big firms are really interested in that as a way of cutting costs. So BlackRock, which is the world's largest asset manager, has got blockchain projects. DTCC, you probably haven't heard of, but it works on securities transactions, and it's the largest of its type in the world. They have blockchain projects. Many of the investment banks are now involved. One of my favorite stories from the summer is Goldman Sachs saying at the beginning of the summer, don't be involved in crypto. It is not an asset class. And by the end of this summer, had actually hired a new global head of digital assets and was considering its own cryptocurrency. And actually a survey from Fidelity says that it's estimated that 1/3 of institutional investors globally are exposed to crypto. So a lot of the content we put out talks about the early investors in Bitcoin were private individuals, they were speculators, they were early adopters. That major growth now is being driven by institutional investors. And our opinion is you will not see after the next sort of 12 to 18 months the levels of growth that we're seeing now. So there's a great opportunity and great timing. And whilst I'm very respectful to the devastation that COVID has caused, COVID is probably very much sped up what crypto has been able to achieve. And I say that with every respect to people that are massively hurt by COVID. So this is a graphic from an ebook that we produced earlier this year, which is the Crypto Boom ebook. You can find it for free on our website. And it looks at the life cycle for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is often talked about because it's one of the oldest established, it's the most proven, it's the most adopted. So you can see that there's been quite a lot of volatility. We're quite unusual as an exchange. We're not designed for people that want to trade. You can trade with our platform, but most people that use our platform are focused on holding their crypto. So you can see that there is a fair amount of volatility in that marketplace, but at every single point that you see a high and you get a sort of a correction afterwards, every single boom is higher than the previous one. So it's our opinion that, and actually we've literally just seen prices reaching their high point for the year, which is fantastic. We think that growth will continue over, as I say, the next sort of 12 to 18 months. And if you look at some of those volumes, looking at daily volumes today, there was £24 billion worth of Bitcoin traded in the previous 24 hours. It's a substantial market. It's no longer niche. And like we say, this fifth boom is already being motivated by institutional investors. So I just want to talk about the different types of crypto. So there's actually well over 7,000 different cryptos now. So if you're getting involved in crypto, it can be quite challenging to work out which of those coins most suit what you're trying to achieve. So as I mentioned, we're very focused on Bitcoin, Litecoin and Ethereum, which are the blue chip cryptos. So we know that those are the coins that the institutions are interested in. Interestingly, when PayPal announced, I think it was a week, maybe 10 days ago, that they would accept crypto onto their platform. Interestingly, those were the cryptos that they're working with. So we really focus on those. Once you get much further down that list, you get into some very weird, wacky and esoteric coins. So you look at those trading volumes, these are obviously 24 hours and are correct as of today. Bitcoin 24 billion, Ethereum 12 billion, Litecoin 2 billion. So of those three coins, because that's where the institutional interest is focused, they typically account for around 70% of all traded volume. So I'll just say that one more time. There's 7,500 cryptocurrencies, give or take, and yet three of them are around 70% of daily traded volume. So obviously that varies a little bit day in, day out, but look, it just tells a really interesting story about probably that the demand is not there for some of those weirder coins. I'm just going to, sorry, mute some of the background noise from my people that are listening live. So particularly for us as a business, when people say, look, I'm new to crypto, I want to get involved, diversifying across those blue chip cryptos that have a reputable story and have demand from institutional clients is key. So I just want to give you a bit of introduction to what Dacxi does. So we are a digital asset exchange. So you can purchase crypto through us. Typically people are moving from their lovely British pounds and purchasing some crypto. And through us, you can buy, hold and learn about crypto. We are retail specific. So typically people that use our platform are looking to hold their crypto for the short to medium term. And we do that in a safe, secure and easy environment. I'll talk about some of our security protocols on the next slide. We are licensed in Europe and we have a UK office. Many of the crypto exchanges tend to have some really bizarre locations. So it's a little bit depressing when you look at some of these people that are, wiring their money to the middle of nowhere, which always just seems a little bit odd to me. So we're really proud that we've got offices just outside just in Oxford, just outside London. What is going on with my mouse today? Forgive me. So look, we are very focused in the medium term being a crowdfunding business. So today we're focused on crypto. You will see in the medium term us becoming a crowdfunded business. We're very client focused. So we believe we have the largest customer service team per user of any crypto business that exists right now. And we have an extremely experienced founding team. So my personal expertise, obviously I'm on my third blockchain business now. My previous two businesses are valued up at 15.4 and 5 million respectively, businesses that I have obviously been advisors for. And of course, I'm very focused on sort of early stage businesses and scaling them up. So I just want to talk about some of the security. Obviously, if you're as old as me or even older, you'll remember when phone banking first came in and when internet banking first came in. And obviously there's lots of talk about keeping yourself safe online, which is quite right. So a really great way of checking out how secure any platform is from an IT perspective is to use the Mozilla Observatory. If you Google it, you can find it. It's free, you haven't got to sign up or anything. And you can check the security of any website in the world. So my background before I joined Dacxi, I was involved with some technology for investment banks and asset managers. So I was supplying technology to Deutsche Bank and UBS. And that was hard going to sit in conversations when you were being absolutely grilled on your security features. So Mozilla is a really good way of just summarizing what that looks like. So we have an A+ security rating, so that's given to us independently. and that's the highest rating you can get. And of course, we're higher than a significant number of other platforms in our market space. And actually, if you put on some of the high street banks through that same process, they rate anywhere between an F and a B. And really, it's only those sort of challenger banks that are digital propositions first that rate highly. So really key for keeping your assets safe when you're online. So I just wanted to talk about what Dacxi offers. We really try and make crypto simple and easy to understand. We're very conscious that if you Google crypto, you can very quickly disappear down a black hole, which is quite annoying. So we have 3 separate programs of which we are really focused on being the right thing for a UK audience. So the first one is the blue chip bundle. So whatever someone chooses to put on the platform across all of our various opportunities, they are coins held in your own name. So the blue chip bundle would automatically split whatever you have on the platform between 50% Bitcoin, 20% Ethereum, 10% Litecoin, and 20% DAC. And there's currently a 10% DAC bonus, just as a bit of a sales incentive. And there's a £100 entry level for that program. It's very interesting. We have lots of people that say, look, I just really love Bitcoin. That's what I've bought. That's great. But over the last year, that selection of coins for diversification has outperformed Bitcoin by about 100%. And every couple of months, we look at that bundle and say, shall we change it? And currently, there's nothing else that beats it performance-wise. And we also have a precious metals bundle, which we've recently launched, which is more about wealth preservation. And that's split between gold, silver, platinum, and DAC coins. We've literally just recently launched that. We've had a great reaction from a UK marketplace that has a 200 sterling entry level. And finally, we have our own coin, which is the DAC coin. Come on, slide. Goodness me. So our DAC coin, which is historically shown the greatest capital growth. There's actually a 50% bonus at the point of purchase, and that has an £100 entry level. And across all of our various programs, we accept company purchase, transfers in are free, and we are currently working on an ISA product, which we believe will be the first ISA which you can purchase crypto in the UK, which we are really excited about. So 3 separate programs. Whoever referred you to Dacxi can give you more information on that. So just in closing, I want to just give you some information on how you can get involved. This is the front page of our website. So we do seek to be the authority on getting people involved in crypto from a relatively low starting point. So you can set up your account online. Of course, we are just about to go into our second lockdown in the UK, but you're able to get involved with the platform without having to leave your house. So we're under the FCA for what's called KYC, which is Know Your Client. So we need a copy of photographic ID, like a driving license or a passport, and a proof of address within 3 months, something like a bank statement or utilities bill, council tax, something like that. Once you've uploaded that and you've passed KYC, you can fund your account and then interact. So a little sort of screenshot in the bottom right-hand corner. It very much looks like an online banking app. It was designed in-house by our crypto specialist team and really just very light touch and super easy to navigate. So I'm trying to keep these quite short. I'm going to stop recording so I can take some Q&A from people that are listening live. So for those of you who listen again, I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Next steps is to engage with our learning. If you go to our website, which is dacxi.com, there's huge amounts of free resources which you can explore. There's ebooks, there's blue papers, there's loads of webinars, there's loads of press that we've written for the industry. So please do feel free to engage in that. We do regular online events across a broad variety of topics, whether it's beginner sessions, more detailed sessions, sessions for property investors, a huge variety. So you can find those on our website at events.dacxi.com, or of course, you can talk to the person that introduced you. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let me just press pause and look to see you online soon.